Shoma chuji anji podrana toksen sanje kanji ngoni razama shurga muzuma stunza save lama namla sorate kirba sanje chua shikda nyamba tropa shumla tanda sanjine manere dambe janso to jamso shabla sorate lame josme jamso doje dang shilke kuru pema shumla ji shenru tsinga gyalwe nyuku ye tanda drupa tanjine drupara ho ranjin lame trambe kaje kosme jaro shitru lazo he Rale jana ne pare tujo tuyo yurmi jiore shinji lo. Homage to Sakyamuni Buddha. Homage to His Holiness Lama Achuk Rinpoche. Homage to Gyalwe Nyugu Rinpoche. Everybody give rise to bodhicitta to benefit countless suffering sentient beings. May all beings have happiness and all the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and all the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the great happiness devoid of suffering. And may they forever dwell in the great equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. To sacred bodhicitta, the precious and excellent mind. Where it is not, may it arise. Where it is, may it never decline. Consistently growing, rising higher and higher. And we carry on these most incredible teachings of Atisha, the Bodhisattva's garland of jewels. Last week, the week before, we spoke about bodhicitta. It's really, really so vast and so important, and we've all benefited from love and kindness and compassion. Every single one of us. Irrespective of whether you have a religion or you don't have a religion, love and kindness has played a part in our lives. And we carry on today talking about cause and effect, the infallibility of cause and effect. And this leads to what we call karma. And what is karma? Karma really is the actions in life. Where does this all start? It starts because of this mantra, I. This I in ignorance. It starts with ignorance. Because we don't realize how I truly exists, we consider I as being independent, permanent, stands by itself. We don't realize it's interdependent. We forget it. And we think it's going to stay the same. We make it all important. And because of this, many afflictions arise. A lot of suffering arises. Because of this I, we do all sorts of things. We have desires, we get angry because things go against what I wants. We get jealous. We get proud, arrogant. All of these actions, all of these emotions, they plant seeds. Where do they plant seeds? Into our mind stream. Now, we can't see those seeds in the mind stream. But just because we can't see them, it doesn't mean that they're not there. And what are we doing 24 hours of the day? We are planting these seeds. actions of body, speech and mind. All the things we think about then become what we say, then become what we do. And as a result, it causes all sorts of life experiences. All of these life experiences are leaving these seeds in our mind stream. And whether it's positive or negative is predominantly determined by our motivation. What is our reason for doing it? Is it positive or is it negative? Are we doing it to satisfy the I, our self-grasping, or are we doing it to benefit others? And all of those seeds, they create an energy. And when that energy and those seeds ripen, there's an energy that pushes us in a certain direction, that pushes us into anger, that has the energy that directs us into desire or greed, or directs us into love and kindness or compassion, into forbearance, or into jealousy. All of these seeds are like a bank account, like the Reserve Bank. We make all these deposits. Whatever we are spending most of our time with, in body, speech and mind, this is where we're going to make the most deposits. And because that's the place we make the most deposits, this is where there's going to be the most energy in those directions. Maybe we can think we can have more to withdraw from, and it's going to be easier to withdraw from this bank account. Or we could maybe think of it as the cloud. Can we see what's on the cloud? Can we see the cloud? No. But what we save into the cloud, we can retrieve. And what do we retrieve most of? Of what we put in the cloud. If we put a little bit of love and kindness, we put a lot of anger into our mind stream, then it's going to be very easy to access the anger. It might be not so easy to access the love and kindness. If we're looking at a lot of things on the computer, specific topics, and saving it onto the cloud, that's what is going to be most easily accessible from the cloud. So all of these thoughts, all of these seeds, can we see them in our mind stream, in the alaya, or the alaya consciousness? No. But does that mean they're not there? No, they're there. Just like what we've saved onto the cloud. Can we see what's on the cloud? No. But does it mean there's nothing saved on the cloud? No, it's saved, it's there. It's like when you do a search on Google or Bing or Yahoo or Baidu. There's like an auto save. So we don't have to specifically hit the save button. All of those sites, that we've been visiting, they're into that auto save. There's a computer number, there's a script where you saved it, what happens, there's a record. Whether you want that record or not, it's automatically saved. Goes into the cloud, goes into the Google search. The next time you type in ABC, all your searches for ABC pop up. You look for something on Google or these search engines, not only does it bring you the information that you're looking for, it brings you a whole lot of other information that's related to it. It's like taking a web and you throw the web into the water. The greater the web, the greater the ability it has to collect. You type in flight to so and such a place, all of a sudden all sorts of information comes about flights, hotels, products relating to where you typed in your search. This happens as well. And what we're doing, what our motivation is, we point ourselves in a certain direction and then all of this extra information comes down. All our memories, all of those seeds that we've planted, all of those energies. How did we end up eating here? How did we end up in this place, at this party? How did we end up in this trouble, in this situation? How did we end up in this city? Oh, because of all the seeds that we planted. All of those seeds of body, speech and mind that have been pushed us in that direction. And you look at people as well, what happens? Let's say you see an animal. And for some people, the first thing that they think with the animal is kill it, shoot it, eat it. We're going to make a profit from it. Other people think protect it, help it, look after it. Why do people have different ways of thinking about it? Either this life, previously, or previous lives, you've had that habit. The habit of wanting to protect, the habit of wanting to help. So naturally, this is the thoughts that naturally, more easily pop up, that arise. Why do you want to kill or hurt? Because before, you maybe were involved in hunting, or hurting, or killing. So this is what naturally arises. You don't have to act on it, but these are the thoughts that pop up. You think, why am I thinking these? It's because you've planted these seeds, or you've acted on these things before, so you have this habit in your mind stream. And the more stores we have, the easier it is to withdraw. The more we've accessed certain websites, the quicker this information is going to come, or it's going to suggest this information. We do it once, we do it twice. The first time's maybe a little bit difficult. The second time is a little bit easier. The third time is easier. The fourth time, the 10th time. Eventually it becomes so easy. We're not even thinking about when we're doing it anymore. It just happens naturally. We do it naturally, effortlessly. We even sometimes subconsciously just do it. We don't even realize we're doing it. Or we don't really pay much attention. We just do it. It's like people that reach for a cigarette. They don't have great conscious effort. They've been smoking for a long time. They just reach for the cigarette. What do we reach for so much these days? Our phones. How often do we reach for our phone? How often do we go and check? Oh, are there any messages? Nothing. None of the push-ups have come up. There's no messages come up, but we still check. Are there any messages? Oh, we've got a few spare moments. What do? Reach for the phone. Look at the phone. Maybe there's some messages. Maybe there's something on Facebook. Maybe there's something. Oh, let me check this. Let me do this. Oh, okay. I must carry on and do something else. How often do we not so unconsciously or subconsciously reach for the phone? It's become second nature. Never used to have it before. Maybe it's different today. Children grow up with it. But when we were growing up, there wasn't these mobile phones. So we really didn't have this habit of reaching for a telephone. But now, what do we do before we go anywhere? Have I packed my love and kindness? Have I got the right attitude? Or do we first think, where's my phone? Make sure I'm taking my phone with me. Take it to bed with us. When we wake up, it's the first thing we look for. We repeat it again and again. So much easier that it comes up much easier. Our mind is very, very, very powerful. Whatever we concentrate on, that's the direction our mind is going to take us. It's really incredible. And the more we've practiced something, that's the direction it's going to follow more easily. It's going to fall into that habit very much more easily. And this is Buddhism. See, Buddhism is really great. See how it applies to us in everyday life. All we want to do is to be happy. We don't want to suffer. This is the same for all sentient beings. So it's very, very, very important that we know what causes happiness, what causes suffering. So if we know what the causes are, if we want happiness, we know what to do. If we don't want suffering, we know what not to do or what to do. This is a big problem today. People are really searching for happiness. They really don't want to suffer. But what they're doing often is not bringing them what they want. They want happiness, but what they're doing causes them suffering. They don't want to suffer, but what they're doing is causing suffering. And they work so hard at it. They're so diligent at it. They might see the temporary happiness or a temporary relief of suffering. But in actual fact, what they're doing is actually causing suffering. For instance, we might think we go for a few drinks. We have a whole lot of drinks. We feel the happiness, but afterwards we get the headache. And sometimes the headache is much, much more than the happiness we had. And this is why the teachers spend so much time, effort in explaining to us, teaching us about cause and effect, explaining cause and effect, stressing cause and effect. I think, why are we hearing this again? Because we're still making the same mistakes again and again. And because they really want us to be free from suffering. They really want us to be happy. And this cause and effect is so important. It applies to everybody, all sentient beings. It's like that autosave on your Google searches. It automatically saves your searches, saves that information. It's mentioned, of that I know of, it's definitely mentioned in Buddhism. It's very important in Buddhism. It's definitely mentioned in Christianity. I'm sure it applies to the other religions as well. Unfortunately, I apologize, I don't know too much about what the other religions say about it. In Christianity, where does it say? Maybe it's explained, most of it is the same, maybe there's some differences. They say, whatever you sow, so shall you reap. That's cause and effect. Whatever seeds you plant, you're going to experience the result of. They're going to grow, they're going to come to fruition, and you experience the result. Cause and effect. You go to heaven, you go to hell. What takes you to heaven and hell? Cause and effect. You do these things, that's going to send you up or down. That's cause and effect. So just because we don't believe in it doesn't mean just suddenly it's only for Buddhists, that it doesn't apply to us. It applies to everybody. It's just one of those natural laws of this world. So Buddha taught, don't do negativity, practice positivity, transform your own mind. These are the teachings of Buddha. How incredible these teachings are. In those 4 sentences, we could just say that, and those are the teachings. Really, really so incredible. Practice bodhicitta, love and kindness, compassion, the 6 paramitas. Rejoice for everybody. Positive. Don't do the negatives. Don't get involved with your 5 poisons. It's going to cause suffering. Your discriminations, your judgments, your desires. How do you do it? By watching your mind, transforming your mind. As they say, if you can, best is to help others. If you can't help others, at least don't hurt them. And that comes to the 2 lines. It says, avoid the 10 negative actions. Actually, this includes 2 things. Do the positive. If you can't do the positive, at least don't do the negative. It's like you see some of the religions, they have the 10 commandments. Do not. I used to get so frustrated with do not. If you tell me to do not, I'm going to go do. I wanted to do. Who tells me what to do? Actually, there's incredible wisdom in this do not. But of course I didn't. I thought I was wiser than this. And all of these things, or nearly all of them, that says do not, I did. Now I have to experience the result of what I do. If only I realized that others' wisdom was a little bit more than mine. But it depends also on how we look at it. I'll experience the results. But it's also important. Maybe I can change my attitude. At least I can say, use them as a teaching, as my teachers, to see how our practice is going. We'll have to see how well that goes. So the do's are and the don'ts are. First, I'll go through them briefly. Benefit, help, support, protect life, preserve life. If you can't do that, at least don't hurt or take life. And that includes animals. It goes across the board. Animals also love their lives. It might be very difficult, but no animal comes running and says, please kill me. Please kill me. Oh, this will be great. Any harm that they perceive that will come to them, they run or they fight back. They protect their lives. Even animals treasure their lives. Precious, very precious is life. Be generous. Generous with your time, with your wealth, with your thoughts, with your wishes, with your praise. If you can't do this, at least don't steal. Don't take what is not given. Be honest, be faithful, be true in your relationships. If you can't do that, at least don't commit adultery. Speak the truth, don't tell lies, especially big lies. What are big lies? That you say that you can do things that you can't, that you have superpowers to influence other people. Speak well of other people. Speak of their good points. If you can't, don't slander people. When you speak, speak gently. Speak kindly. Speak when it's beneficial, when it's going to help, when it adds value. If you can't do that, don't get involved in idle chatter. And don't speak harsh words. Whatever we do with our mind, keep the right view. Maintain love and kindness and compassion. Be generous in your thoughts. If you can't do these things, don't be attached and desire other people's things. And don't have angry or hateful or revengeful or blameful thoughts. And keep the right thinking. So the best is the positive. If you can't, at least don't do the negative. So we've spoken a lot about the positive, the love and kindness of bodhicitta, the 6 parameters we'll still talk about. the don'ts. So I'll use an example. Sometimes I talk about killing, sometimes stealing, sometimes adultery. Let's talk about stealing today. So we see something that somebody else has got, we really want it. Think maybe I'll take it. If it's something really, really expensive, really, really valuable, could end you up in a lot of trouble. Anyway, we see, oh, if I take that, it's so much value, it's going to set me up for life. I mean, whatever your thoughts are about it. So you start to think about it, you start to plot, how can I get it, how should I take it? Or if it's even something small, you steal something, then you steal it. So while you're planning and plotting, you think this is exciting, but it's actually causing suffering. And then you take it and you feel satisfied. Oh, I've got this, I've taken this. And you enjoy it. But actually, that's when the problem starts. This is really when the suffering starts. Why? Because first you get worried that you get caught. So let's follow the route if you get caught. A lot of suffering. A lot of suffering. You get caught, you have to go to deal with the police. You go to court. You spend a lot of time in court. A lot of money in court. You have to deal with the people that you've stolen with. They're looking at you. They want revenge. They want you to pay. They're probably wishing that you have all of your things stolen as well. That you know what it's like. That you understand their suffering, their unhappiness. And the people who love you, some of them might be disappointed, hurt. So you're spending a lot of time and effort. It's not pleasant sitting in those courtrooms, being interrogated. You spend a lot of money paying for legal fees, loss of time. All that stress and anxiety affects your health. Maybe you go to jail, and then you really spend a lot of time suffering in jail. You don't have your freedom, whatever else happens. So just for taking that, you see how much suffering there is afterwards. Was it really worth taking this compared to all the suffering you experience afterwards? You don't get caught. You've planted those seeds. You've stolen. Cause and effect is infallible. So one day it's going to come back to you. What goes around comes around. Every action has an equal opposite reaction. And you worry. Every time you see a policeman knocks at your door, you're always worried you're going to get caught. So when they come, you're not sure if they're coming to help you or coming to get you. Causes anxiety. Policeman's coming. I wonder, have I been caught? Does somebody know something? You steal as well, you're involved with other people, you're never really free. Even if you get away with it, what happens is the other people know. Other people know they might one day bribe you. They might blackmail you. They might have no intention of getting you in trouble, but they get into trouble. And then they give away your information so that they can have a better sentence, or that's not so harsh. So once you get involved in these things, are you ever free? So you can understand. So there's actually, you see how much wisdom there is in these don't do's. You feel satisfied now, but there's a lot of suffering waiting afterwards. Same with killing. In the sutras it says you have to pay. You take a life, you have to be repaid 500 times. Is that worth it? And you go to the hells. For how long? They say long time. before you wear off that karma. Adultery is the same. How much suffering. You have a lot of fun, it's very exciting, but then your partner finds out how much trouble, how much suffering, how many emotions do you have to deal with, and for how long. Slander people, tell lies, all the same principle. You slander people, somebody finds out, you've got to deal with the consequences. Sometimes we say things so we feel better. When it's out, it's out. You can't pull it back again. So with cause and effect, this is what happens. Not only that, not only what we do is going to come back, but it also has side effects. There's more, and there's more. One is what you do. So if, let's say, you were stealing, it's a good chance that later on in life, or in future lives, because you stole, people will steal from you. It isn't that stealing. What will happen is that you get things, but you can't hold on to them. Either they, like sand, they seep through your fingers. You spend your money. You don't know how to control your spending. There's loss, fire. It disappears. Some kind of accident takes away that wealth. These are the side effects. If you kill, so it's also, one is you have similar to the result. So with stealing, if you kill, what happens? Not only you will experience great suffering because of it, but also you live shorter lives in future lives. Maybe you're sick often. And also, because you do it, you become used to it. It becomes easier. So it creates a habit. First time you do it, it's difficult. It becomes easier, until you just kill very easily. Until you just steal very easily. Until you have affairs very easily. You talk about people behind their back very easily. So it's better to be really, really careful. Watch every action of yours, body, speech and mind. Benefit. If you can't, at least don't do. Because you can understand here from this, it creates a lot of future unhappiness, discomfort that you really could do without. Whatever you plant is what you get. If you plant avocado seeds, you get avocado trees. If your motive is negative, the result is negative. If your motivation is positive, then generally the result is positive. It'll come back. Maybe not how you expect, how you want it to come back, but it comes back. And there's a sutra where Buddha really explains some of the results of cause and effect. I think they were at the Vulture Hill, and his great student Ananda asked him, he said, tell us about this cause and effect. How come is it that some people are doing wrong, but yet they're still wealthy? Some people are living the right life, but they don't have enough. And he explains the results of cause and effect. It's very extensive. We won't go through it here, but it's very important to know cause and effect. It's very important to know, what am I doing? These actions, are they really helping me to achieve what I really want to achieve? If I want to achieve happiness, are they really taking me in the direction of happiness? And similarly as well, if you plant the seeds of loving kindness, you practice bodhicitta. You practice great generosity, love and kindness. Even if you're not looking for the loving kindness of other people, it comes to you. Because you've been so generous before, the generosity comes to you. You don't look for wealth, you don't look for these things, but they seem to find their way to you. The result of cause and effect. Even Guru Rinpoche, Padmasambhava, as great a practitioner as he was, how great. What he said was, although my view, my realization is as vast as the sky, my respect for cause and effect is as fine as flower. These great practitioners, they are so careful about every action of theirs, of body, speech and mind. Even great teachers. You see some great realizers. They have incredible realization, but they have problems. They have problems propagating the Dharma. There's obstacles, difficulties. Other people cause problems for them. Sometimes their health is not good. Different circumstances make it difficult for them to help. It's not because their realization is not good. What it can be as well is that before previous lives, they didn't respect cause and effect. They planted certain seeds and now they're experiencing the result. Another example of how this works is, for instance, if somebody really treats you badly, hurts you, belittles you, bullies you, you remember. Where is that memory? Has anybody found where these memories are? Yeah, pull out a little test tube. Yeah, this is the memory. Yeah, this one is the bully one. As far as I know, you can't see where it is. But it's there. Like all the information we saved in the cloud. And the next time you see that person, are you going to be happy to see them? No. Either you want retribution, you ignore them, scowl at them. Something is planted in the cloud, something is planted in our mind. The same as well, somebody gives you something really nice, they treat you well, they treat you kindly, they help you, they protect you. You remember, where's that memory? But it's there. The next time you see them, you're happy to see them. You smile at them. Maybe you speak to them. All sorts of things happen in this world. All of these are the myriad permutations of cause and effect, karma. Whatever's happening is because of our past actions. It's really incredible. There's so many things in this world we don't even know about. Even that we know of. All these the result of karma. Who is the same? Is there one person the same? As far as I know, no. The way we look, how many people in this world look exactly the same? And even if there is by chance there are people that look exactly the same, what are the chances also that they think the same, that their habits are the same? The way they speak is the same, what they talk about is the same, what they think about is the same. Not one. Where does it all come from? The result of all our actions in the past, of our body, speech and mind, of our different lives. Why is it? Think about it. That some children, when they're born, they really suffer. They get abandoned, they get put up for adoption, they have difficulties. Through life they have difficulties. Other children, they have whatever they want, they have a lot of love and kindness, everything runs smoothly, they're very healthy. Look at twins. Twins are brought up, they basically are born at the same time, very close, a few minutes apart. Maybe they look at the identical. How often are they really identical? But their habits are different. Their experiences are different. They might even grow up very different, even though they grew up in the same house, the same parents. Very important to realize what's happening is a result of cause and effect. Always remember bodhicitta. Always remember love and kindness and compassion. Even although that is somebody or some being's karma, treat them with love and kindness and compassion. If you can benefit them, benefit them. If you can't do something, then make the aspirations, make the wishes. I see the suffering being, maybe I can't help them now, but I make the wish that when I'm able to, I'll be able to help them. Or whoever needs help, that I'll be able to help them. Help them according to what the help that they really need. Knowing what happens due to cause and effect. This is a pity, you see. We don't remember our past lives. If we remembered our past lives, sure, we would remember, don't do certain things. This is going to be the result. Leave it alone. If you're doing negative things, repent. Stop. Repentance in Buddhism has got few aspects. One of them is stop. The other is do the opposite, the positive. We'll talk about this another day as well. If you don't want to experience suffering, don't create the causes of suffering. Don't do the things that cause suffering. Remember, we're the director and the actor. We direct the show. How do we direct it? What are we doing now with our body, speech and mind? These are planting those seeds. Those seeds we're going to have. When they ripen, we are the actor. We have to experience them. We have to live them out. And remember, when others hurt us, why are they hurting us? Because they don't realize the reality of cause and effect. They don't realize that they're controlled by their emotions. They can't help themselves. Those emotions arise. They just want to satisfy those emotions. Then they feel better. So you just realize that they don't have freedom. In fact, they're the ones that are really suffering. So when you know this, you realize this, don't take it personally. Just forbear it. Sort it out later if it needs to be sorted out. Remember, they're just controlled by their emotions. They can't control themselves. If we really understand cause and effect, we're really not going to get involved in all sorts of negativity. How do we change it? Observe our mind stream. Mindfulness and awareness. Every moment. Every arising thought. Every arising thought is going to carry a seed. If you liberate that thought as it arises, you don't plant those seeds. You don't plant those seeds, you don't create causes and conditions. You don't create causes and conditions, you gradually are freeing yourself from the cycle of samsara, the cycle of suffering. So do it with mindfulness and awareness. As that thought arises, transform it. If you don't, then at that stage it's easy to transform, much easier. But if it becomes an action, or you're nearly in the action, it's very difficult to stop and to control. So develop this mindfulness and awareness. As the Buddha taught, everything goes according to our minds, our own perceptions. There's the example of the different realms, the different beings. The hell realms, they see water as molten iron. The hungry ghosts see it as pus. Animals may see water as water, or they might even see it as their home. The gods and the suras see it as nectar, and we humans see it as water. The water is the same, the perception of the different beings is different. Like chocolate cake. Some people When they see chocolate cake, oh, I just really dislike chocolate cake. They might even feel a little bit funny in their stomach. Chocolate, just ruined my appetite today. Oh, chocolate cake. Why did you have to show me chocolate cake? To another person, it's chocolate cake, indifferent. Don't really care for it. Another person, it's chocolate cake, but I'm on diet. No chocolate cake for me. Another person, chocolate cake, I'm on diet. No chocolate cake for me. But then, today I'll just sneak a bite. They have one bite, and then they have 1 piece, 2 pieces, 3 pieces, 4 pieces. Afterwards, they feel uncomfortable. They've eaten so much. They feel guilty. They've broken their diet. Some people, when they're on the diet, maybe they think, you see, I love chocolate cake, but they know I'm on diet. They're doing it on purpose. They just want to spite me. They bring out the chocolate cake when they know I can't eat it. Another person looks, chocolate cake, wonderful, love chocolate cake. And another person, awesome, so wonderful, I love chocolate cake. And I wish, just as happy as I am today, I wish that every single being could be as happy as me. The chocolate cake is the same. People have different perceptions towards chocolate cake. Situations in this world, it goes according to our mind. How we perceive it. How we perceive it is not going to be the same as how different other people perceive it. And this energy, the seeds, push us in certain directions. Why do we suffer so much? Because of this I, because of our attachment. We're attached to all these things as being real, as truly existent. But in fact, if we looked at it as if it was just a TV show, we watch the TV show, we enjoy the TV show, but we don't think it's real life. We don't think it's really happening. So it doesn't create us all sorts of suffering. It's just what's happening on the screen. And so this is what's incredible about cause and effect as well, is that when you really realize the infallibility of cause and effect, is you take responsibility. We're always blaming everybody else, as we often say. When one finger is pointing that way, 3 fingers are pointing this way. Who's to blame? Who's to blame? So you realize everything that you do with your body, speech and mind is planting seeds. And you are going to experience the result thereof. So you start to take responsibility. And we might think this is really scary, but in fact it's very liberating, because you realize that you've got the choice. Your choices are going to affect your future. Your choices also affect other people. So have more wisdom. Know what your choices are and how they're going to affect you and yourself later on. Other people say, when I'm in my next life, I want to be this. Sounds great. And I hope it is. I hope you get what you want and you like what you want. Sometimes you must be careful what you wish for. You might not like what you get, what you wished for. But if you haven't planted the causes and conditions for that to happen, how is it going to happen? And always remember the practice of bodhicitta. And I think we'll end there for today. Let's dedicate these merits. First, and the greatest of gratitude to our teachers, to Gelway Nyugu Rinpoche, His Holiness Lama Achuk Rinpoche, and all our perfect teachers. And the greatest of gratitude. So that by these merits may all obtain omniscience, having defeated the enemies of wrongdoings in the turbulent waves of birth, old age, sickness and death, that all beings may be free from the cycle of the ocean of samsara. Sonam de tamja dzapanye, tobnye nyepe tranam khaje jam, Kekar Najir Balang Trupai, Zibi Tsoli Droa Droa Sho.
Allah Shana Tuji Chimbo Sora